Bitcoin, June 11th, 2021, 10:37 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. Hey, my friends, when I'm talking about Bitcoin, I decided I'm going to stop explaining this whole stuff of which candle is on which day because of the fact that I live in Hawaii and we're in Hawaiian Standard Time and we're either 4 or 5 hours behind East Coast Eastern Standard Time and where the markets are at and blah 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 blah. Just over it. It's how it is living in Hawaii. It's just adapting to these things that are going on in the mainland time, and especially with trading. Right? I first started learning how to trade in 2007, and some things that you can easily implement when you live in maybe Eastern time zone or even like the mountain time zone or whatever. Like if you live in Texas, you know, when you live 5 hours behind everything, and when I'm still on the 11th and Bitcoin is already trading for the 12th, sometimes you just have to do things differently. So in these market update videos for Bitcoin and the other assets that I'm doing for the futures, if things are still trading, then I'm just going to talk about what's on the charts, even though the day might be whatever day. So with that being said, what are we seeing for Bitcoin? Well, we definitely are not seeing prices closing above this 37,500. We're not seeing that. We see, again, as back here, prices test this area. But if you notice, when they tested this area back here, see how there was more color on the opposite side of this? And even here, this prices went all the way up here. It's not happening during this test. At least on this side, candles closed and opened on the opposite side of this line, 37,500. Not happening this time. Wicks are going over there, but candles are not closing and opening above that. So what does that mean? At the moment, things look bearish. And there's this thing of lower highs. We're definitely seeing that. All right. So here's a high. Here's a lower high. Here's a lower high. Here's a lower high. Here's a lower high. All right. Now things get real interesting, because from here we had a sell-off, rally up to retest, went about 50% of the sell-off area, right? From here to here. Well, this point is a little over 50%, I guess. This is kind of the 50% sell-off. So anyways, testing around this 50%, not happening, gets rejected, sells off pretty rapidly until we get about to here. We sell off all the way down to here, buyers come in, indicating that it might be, the selling might be over, or it's at least pausing. Maybe buyers are going to come in. We didn't know. We're watching to see what's going to happen. Well, so we got the right. So we got a high, lower high. You could say somewhere in here. It's lower high, okay, lower high, and then lower high. Granted, it's just a little bit lower, but it's still lower. Lower high, lower high. Again, it's just a little bit lower, but it's lower. You know, for example, 5 cents. It's not that much. However, with 5 cents, if you have enough nickels, you could have $100. So you could go from 40,000 to 30,000 in very small increments, but it seems to be happening. Lower lows. So lower lows. Low, lower low, lower low. This one, yeah, kind of lower low there, but it's sort of in the same range still. So we'll say low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low by a little bit, but it's still lower, and lower low. So now, as I also, I believe I mentioned yesterday, since we've been in this range since around, what day was that? May 19th. We've been trading. We were trading in this range of 40,000 to 30,000. Yeah, 40,000 to 30,000. So I guess down here. And even to tighten it up a little bit, let's say 40,000 to 35,000, because as far as bodies, yes, wicks of the candles went all the way down to 30,000. So we got a wide trading range of 40,000 to 30,000, but we're tightening, and we tighten that up in this area. We see it's basically 40,000 with bodies. So open and closing of candles, 40,000 to 35,000. And in that, in this box right here of 37,500 and 240,000, in this box right here of 37,500 to 35,000, look at how much more bodies of the candles were in this side. So the price action was opening and closing more over here, less over here. So we're testing these highs and this higher trading area in here, but there's more, it's gravitating down here more. And then as we move in time from May into June, we see more white space, less white space. We see the price action hardly at all from this 37,500 mark to 40,000. And we see it had gravitated into that lower range of 37,500 to 35,000. And now what I'm wondering is, have we gravitated one box lower from, is 35,000 to 37,500 going to be this in a week or two? Our prices just kind of go whoop, keep going down. That's what it appears to be. And fundamentally, there are different things that I hear that I don't really feel like speaking on them too much, because there's things that seem to kind of push prices up and bring prices down, a variety of things. But yeah, so fundamentally, what is going on? If we look at Bitcoin as emotionally and mentally neutrally as possible, what is really going on fundamentally that would indicate that there's going to be a significant amount of money flowing into Bitcoin to double prices? What would that be? Now, if you're a Bitcoin bull, you might have a knee-jerk reaction and say, oh, it's going to be this. If you're a Bitcoin bear, you might do the same thing on the downside. So what I'm suggesting is to challenge those premises, especially on the upside. What is there fundamentally? If you have, I have no dog in this fight. I really don't care. I'm just doing my best to depict direction. And I am literally neutral. It does not matter to me if this goes up or goes down. I don't care. I'm just testing myself to see if I can technically analyze and predict price movement. And what I'm seeing on the charts is showing me a downward trend. And but not only do I like to analyze things from the technical charts, I also like fundamental analysis. And I'm wondering, where are some real legitimate arguments to warrant the price of Bitcoin in US dollars to be doubled to make it back up to here. That is not to say that there's no use value, that there is no value in it. You know, just like you know, I guess from what I heard, I don't know how true this is, but from what I heard, ramen noodles have a lot of value in the prison system. Outside of the prison system, they don't have a lot of value. They have some value, but not as much value as a steak. But apparently in the prison system, ramen noodles are basically used like currency. So there's value there, but it's value in a very specific closed environment. And so if you can kind of extrapolate that and think that, okay, Brent is not saying that there is no value in Bitcoin, but Brent is saying, ask a question of, for example, when people say Bitcoin's going to go to 1 million, then where is the fundamental case? And the fact that I'm like neutral on cryptocurrency and tend to listen to a lot of opinions on cryptocurrencies from both sides. Sometimes I hear bullish cases for a price appreciation that I don't think, I think their argument doesn't equal price appreciation, but their argument might equal use value, like the ramen noodles. You know, are ramen noodles going to go to $500 a pack because there's a high demand for them in the prison system? Maybe in the prison system, but outside of the prison system, if the same person who's in prison is willing to pay whatever amount, let's say it's $500 for the ramen noodles, are they going to pay the same amount once they leave the prison system? So because there's a certain dynamic in under certain situation or for a certain limited amount of time, asset had a certain price, does that mean that it'll always have a certain price? No, I get it. Like anyone that's probably bullish on Bitcoin or cryptocurrency might be like, oh, you don't get it. Da, 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 da. So if I don't get it, like, then if you feel that I don't get it, then help me get it in a logical sense. Because like I said, I'm completely neutral for it, and I was getting excited when these rallies start happening, but nothing's closing above 37,500. So I mean, obviously the price can't go to 1 million if it can't get past 40, and I've been saying that for a while. But just to keep the record straight, because this often happens when I'm conversing with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency bulls, they tend to automatically view me as a crypto pessimist or anti-crypto or something like that. That's not it at all. Technology-wise, I 100% believe the blockchain is distributed ledger technology is not only here to stay, but it is absolutely revolutionizing things. I think the NFT market, not the non-fungible tokens, I think that's amazing for artists. I think there's other ways to implement it. In fact, some friends of mine know that I have been researching and trying different things in the NFT world myself. And they know because they've been helping me. I've been bouncing ideas off them. And also you might know that I think it's Abex Technologies partnered up with the government of Singapore, and they're already launched or working on launching a natural gas futures commodities exchange based on distributed ledger technology. So in no way do I not see this potential of where things are, the direction things are going in the future. That doesn't mean, though, that the price of something automatically has to go up. You know, Beanie Babies is an example people use a lot. Beanie Babies still have some value. You could still give people a present of Beanie Babies, but they don't command the same sort of dollar price that they used to. Fundamentally, did they ever really deserve to have that sort of price? I don't know. So I'm not saying that, what I'm not saying is that Bitcoin does or doesn't have anything. Crypto does or doesn't have anything. That is not what I'm saying. It might sound like it, and if it sounds like it, then I apologize that I'm not being clear in my communication. What I am saying is, for this particular cryptocurrency, this particular asset, what is the fundamental value for it in a dollar amount, roughly? What is it? Where is that fair, that like fair market value? And I get it. If you're going to say something like, well, you know, devaluation of the dollar, inflation, all this stuff. Okay, right. I mean, you see, I make these videos for gold and silver too. I 100% understand inflation, devaluation of currencies. Maybe I shouldn't say I completely understand. I'm not necessarily a Jeff Schneider or a Peter Schiff, but at the same time, like, I understand it well enough to know how to make decisions and take action in my own life based on the information I have to attempt to safeguard things. So even with that being said, like, where is a good buy for Bitcoin? So me personally, I'm waiting to see if it's going to test this stuff down here. If it's gonna fall down here. If it falls down there, then depending on what I'm hearing in the big picture, then I might decide. I will decide to do something, right? I'm always deciding to do something in a moment by moment, and you are too. So, anyways, that's a good maybe philosophical update on some of my thinking. So to recap, I'm neutral. I'm Bitcoin neutral. I don't care if it goes up. I don't care if it goes down. I don't particularly have a strong opinion either way, other than looking at these charts. Fundamentally, I hear in what I view is inaccuracy on both sides of the argument, and that's pretty much where it stands. I hear accuracy on both parts, and I hear inaccuracy on both parts. And overall, there's a fair amount of people that I have talked to in this year that I feel they're crypto bulls, and I feel they're doing themselves a disservice by not being more accurate in their arguments, in their premises that they are expounding. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm not the greatest. I don't have the greatest vocabulary. But you know what I do have a bit of? I do have a bit of long history since around whatever 2007, 2006 of studying financial markets and also just business in general and sales. And when you combine those things together, especially the sales, when you start understanding psychology of people, and because to be really good at sales, you really have to get in to understand what's ticking in people's minds. So understanding these things, this combination of things, I think it would be wise for the crypto bulls to, I think they would be more powerful in their conversations with people if even some things they thought were true, if they left that out. Because there's just some things that don't necessarily go together nice and smoothly. But anyways, you know what? That's kind of fun. These thoughts were not necessarily organized at all. I'm just really doing my best to if anybody's watching this, which 20 minutes into it, God bless you if you are, doing my best to give you an idea of some of my thinking on cryptocurrency. But ultimately, big picture wise, I love it. I think the distributed ledger technology is awesome. I definitely think the NFT market is awesome. If you are an artist or an aspiring artist at all, just start building a portfolio. Start putting stuff out there. What negative could it give you? You're going to learn, and you're possibly going to make money. And it more than likely, it's an environment that's only going to grow and get bigger. And also, even if you're not the greatest artist, do it anyways, because that learning experience, you start building on that. And let's say you have zero experience with it. You make one NFT, which an NFT seems to be a lot easier to make than a cryptocurrency. So you make one NFT, now you went from 0 to, let's say, 1 or 0.5 of experience and understanding. Then you make another one. Now let's say you go another 0.5. So now you're at 1. And you've got 2 of them under your belt. Your skill level went up to 1. And then you make 2 more. Now you're at a skill level of 2. And then because you're at this higher skill level, you've learned so much. Then you're able to look at the world a little bit differently. So sometimes what has to happen in order for people to be really successful in one area is they need to take these baby steps, and there needs to be this learning process, and let their brain kind of marinate in the different ideas and things like that. So I encourage you, if you have any interest in it, go ahead and do it. And then who knows what that experience of making these NFTs for a while, you might, because you have a unique perspective and viewpoint on life and on earth. Everybody does. Every single person has the ability to bring something unique to the table. And what might happen is that you might go down that road and get some experience under your belt, and then you might start noticing how you could create something, or how you could do something with cryptocurrencies, or you might go another direction. Who knows? But you gotta get started on something. So speaking of get started on something, let me get started on uploading this video and stop my lecture. But I will stop it by saying, like, I want you to do something. I want you to take action on something. Do something. I want this world to be a better place by you personally, doing something good for yourself, expanding your knowledge and wisdom and experience on the world. And that something might not be anything major, but just do it anyways, because who knows how, when things are marinating in your mind, what it can blossom into. So with that, my friends, do your good buddy Brent a favor. Give me some love. Show me some love. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to the Facebook group. Join the Facebook group. Go to the website. Enter your email information in there. Shoot me a message. Let me know what's up with you. Let me know what's going on, and let me know what you have going on and how you are approaching or not approaching the markets, and how you think those two things are related, and whatever you want to tell me, as long as it's mixing in the markets. And then let's have a conversation. I want to be meeting as many people as possible. That's it. I want to meet as many people as possible. And I want our conversations to be around the markets, financial markets. With that, my friends, it's Friday, 11:02 p.m. Good buddy Brent, I'm here in Hawaii, so we're going to do what the Hawaiians do. You guys have a fantastic night. Bye-bye.